time to make some coffee.
Thank you, little lady, for getting that started.
You're welcome.
Good job, Butterista.
Thank you.
Are you one of the best Butteristas in the world?
Yes, I am.
You are one of the best baristas in the world, yes. You're certainly paid on average, though, as the law demands, that you get paid at minimum the average what a barista would get paid out in the real world, even though Starbucks is currently protesting and they're trying to get unions going. But everywhere that they do that, Starbucks just closes down the facilities pretty quick.
Yeah.
We don't care. We don't drink Starbucks coffee. Lots of different reasons. You do your thing. We know that we get suppressed regularly because we speak up against Disney, Starbucks, and all the big MSM. So when our video counts and our low counts go low, we take that as a good sign. We know we're here dropping the news and bringing you the tips and tricks on how to be a journalist yourself. Each of us must be a scientist. We must be a journalist. We must be husbands, fathers, daughters, sisters, mothers, grandmas, grandpas. And, you know, you're going to do it your way, your style, what you've learned, the experiences you've picked up, how not to do it, how to do it. You're going to make mistakes on the way, probably lots of them. And if you're making lots of good mistakes and you're focusing on those mistakes and not looking in the rearview mirror, then you're learning, you're changing, and you're growing.
Growing.
Sometimes you get stuck. When you repeat a loop and you don't pass the test, then you keep getting the test handed back to you, don't you, Addy?
Yes, you do.
And this is where humanity often, gets stuck. They get lost.
You get lost.
They can't figure out why the same exact thing keeps happening to them over and over and over. Now, the definition of insanity is to do the same action, not changing anything, but to expect a different outcome.
But to expect a different outcome.
Now, Addy, who's responsible for her actions?
I am.
That's right. Who has to make choices?
I do.
That's right. Would I love to make all the choices for you?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
For no one. Do I want to be making choices for you, or do I want you to have the strength and the confidence to make your choices?
The strength and the confidence to make my choices.
That's right. And that's how we feel as journalists. We want you to be informed, and we want to bring the information to you. Sure, we wish our show was the most popular in the world and all the way around the world, reaching everybody. But that's not what matters. What matters is the one viewer that needs to hear our message to become stronger and to change the world is all that is ever needed. For any messenger, we understand and will always know that it only takes one person to hear the right message at the right time, and they will rewire their brain, break the mold, change the system themselves, which will change the system for every person around them for the rest of their life.
Yep.
Is that pretty powerful stuff?
Yes, it is.
That's the greatest thing we talk about Scott Adams and rewiring the brain, guys, is what Scott was bringing to the table wasn't a fun conversation, to have and walk away, a new person. It was to break down, get uncomfortable, and recognize that you do have the power. You do have the ability, and you can break free.
Yes, you do.
You will have to rewire your brain.
Yes.
And if you're not currently an electrician, Scott Adams has books for you to read or by audio. Sergio and a bunch of other guys have created essentially just some anime where you can watch some really cool things happening on the screen and hear Scott Adams' voice to a little melody. And boy, is that hypnotic if we ever saw that, right?
Yeah.
And so we want to welcome you guys to another absolutely beautiful show today. We are on episode 29, and we are going the distance. We have hundreds of episodes coming your way soon, and we'd like to remind you that you will never, ever, ever be able to spell daddy without the Addy. I said you can't spell daddy without the Addy. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have a long show in front of us. It's 8:21. We got started just a little bit early because the princess loves starting it. Let's remember why we're here. Addy, will you please read us Scott Adams' hypnotic simultaneous sip for all of us that transcends time and space, wherever you're at today, whatever time you're watching this. If you're catching back up because you're binge watching a few episodes together, that's great too. Get your mug ready to go.
Let's go. All you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard or chalice or stein, a canteen, jug, or a flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I usually like coffee. Hot cocoa works too.
And you can add some hot cocoa at 100%, or
with peanut butter.
as Jack taught us, throw
Peanut
some
butter.
crunchy peanut butter in there.
Yeah.
True story.
But anything works. And let's do a simultaneous sip.
Wherever you're at, whatever time you are, thank you, Scott, for connecting us all.
Thank you, Scott.
That is good stuff, guys. And again, shout out to Scott's Meetups. They are getting slammed. Guys, this thing has taken off like a rocket. People are trying to meet up all across the U.S. We have somebody meeting Pensacola on February 7th for all of our locals that are out there here in Pensacola. There'll be a Scott Meetup on February 7th. I'm not the moderator or control of that. I just know it's going down, so I'm spreading the word. And anything that happens here locally in Florida, I'll be throwing that around.
Yeah.
We have friends in every state across all 50 states, especially out in Alaska with our Inuit buddies out there. So we will, in fact, be making sure that our friends in all of those areas in each and every one of the 50 United States, soon to be 51 with Greenland, we will be making sure that all of them know where their local Scott meetup is. And hopefully we'll be able to get them to send us some footage, and we'll be able to help Scott meetups from the side by putting together some stuff. But that's going to require our buddies, our friends, and our family take action. Isn't that right, Eddie?
Yes, they do.
Yesterday, we spoke a little bit about knowing is half the battle, and that's just half the battle. Getting the knowledge, knowing the knowledge, us teaching you how to be a journalist and find the truth and get to the knowledge is just half of it. What's the other half, Addie?
Doing it.
That's right. Taking action. And that in itself is its own battle, right?
Yeah.
Good job, Addie.
Thank you.
Thank you for leading us in the Scott Adams Prayer. Can you please remind us our scripture for every day and the reason we're here to bring the media to the people? What is Isaiah 6:8?
Isaiah 6:8. I heard the voice of the Lord say, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" Then I said, Here I am, send me."
And that was our message yesterday, to remind you nothing is going to change in the world unless you do it yourself.
Yep.
That doesn't mean we don't have amazing people doing amazing things behind the scenes, working hard and getting the job done. Is that right?
Yes.
But it does mean that we have to take up action, right?
Yep.
Now, one of the reels that Addie and I created last week, we launched on, I think, Friday.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was about dragons, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we are now above 17,000 views, 600, 700 plus likes and hearts on that post, and lots of great conversation. One of the things that was odd in the conversation was one individual tried to say that you don't need to go slay the dragons. God will save us. Addie, does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. God gave you the power so you can slay the dragons.
There you go, Addie. I know you know that, but we do have some followers and fellow people out there that maybe have forgotten that God is in you. You must take action. And the oldest fable in the book that all of you have heard that I will run through as fast as I can is a man was sitting there praying for God, and a flood was coming. He said, "God, please save me, please save me." And a bunch of big Texas dudes in their big trucks pulled up and said, "Run, run, yo, bro, we got you. Hop in the back. We're going." No. God's got me. I don't need your help. Well, here comes the flood waters. Bro's getting on top of his roof. Here comes a boat. The buddy said, Yo, come on. We're from Tyler, Texas. We got the boats out here. We got you. We drove all this way to come get you. Get in the boat. We got you. And the man says, "No, God's going to save me. God's going to save me." So the dudes are like, "Yeah, okay, bro. God sent us, whatever." Okay, he takes off. Now he's on his roof. The flood is high. Here comes a helicopter, drops the ladder. "Yo, bro, get on a helicopter. God made me so smart that I could fly this pilot. I came over here today. Jump on that." You know what the guy said?
What?
He said, "No, God's going to save me."
God is trying to save you.
Well, that's what we see, but that's not what this man said. The man's a good man. He dies, right? Now he's in heaven, and he's like, "Yo, God, why didn't you come save me?" What did God say to the bro?
I was saving you.
I sent you a monster truck. I sent you a monster boat. I even sent you a helicopter with a ladder. But you didn't do what?
He didn't hop on.
You didn't take action. You didn't move.
Yeah, action.
You got to take action.
You got to.
Wherever you're at in your life, whatever it is you're doing, whatever's coming your way, we want you to remember that it is action that changes the world. And it's your action and your choices that change the world. Choosing to watch this show, choosing to spread the message, choosing actively each and every day is what it means to have God in your heart. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be strong. There's going to be obstacles in the way. Is that right?
Yeah.
But what do?
We overcome them.
Darn Skippy. Good job, Addy.
Thank you.
Let's get to the news, guys. We have lots of different things to bring to you, and we want to talk about rockets, NASA.
Yeah, rockets.
Did you get a ticket for the Artemis 2 and get your name on board?
Yes, I did.
That's right. Adeline, First Empress of Earth, is on the ticket. The whole family is. I don't know if you can still do it, but if you go to NASA, they have a really cool site where you can enter and get your boarding pass for Artemis 2.
Okay.
That's going to be launching. The date starts at the earliest of February 6th. There's a window, as you guys know, that they can try to make. And it looks like the 6th is going to be that first window, right?
Yeah.
Are we excited about it?
Yeah.
And so if you haven't already gotten it for your kids and you can put your name on a boarding pass, print the ticket, get it put up. It's going to send it up and around and go around the moon because why? As NASA read today, and we will try to read for you this morning, they have made it a really, really a big deal. And we're very happy to see what NASA has said. So what they're going to be doing right here, Addy, is the crew is going to demonstrate the ability of the systems and teams to sustain the flight in the crew flight environment through their return to Earth. The systems are going to demonstrate operational essentials to the lunar crew because, again, we're going to try to land on the moon pretty soon here, guys. This is the test flight to land on the moon. It's going to go around the moon so you can see the other side of the moon. Right? Some of you know that album. But it's going to take some pictures, do some things, and get back to us with some of that information. They're going to practice some emergency operations to make sure that they can respond in an emergency, right? Always good to practice. And they're going to be doing some data subsystems to complete additional objectives to verify everything is working. There are a bunch of mission milestones, and we are going to talk about those tomorrow. But we wanted to make sure it was clear that you know NASA has never been as excited as they are now. For the last decade and a half, funding has dropped off, interest has dropped off. But under the current administration, not only did we launch Space Force, but now we have put money and funds back into NASA, which they are completely stoked about, bragging that President Trump alone has cured what was the ailment over at NASA. So now we are back to space exploration mode. Yeah. Do we like exploring?
Yes, we do.
Is that who America represents?
Yeah.
All the settlers that settled this great world and have gone on to conquer more? Is that who we are?
Yes.
We're not scared, we're not afraid, and we're going to go to space. And to go into space, first, we go back to the moon. Now, as journalists, we know that that's controversial enough for argument. Lots of people aren't 100% sure that we landed on the moon. So through NASA's current ability and what they're about to show us, are we likely to land on the moon?
Yes.
No, we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
The private sector, SpaceX, and what Elon's done for spaceships and rockets is leading the way. But what we're also seeing in solar rays and capturing energy is great. But if we're going to get to Mars, are we going to need additional launch pads and a moon base?
Yes.
Yeah. And if the aliens are going to visit, do we need protection from a moon base?
Yes.
Yeah, right? I mean, not all aliens are probably good, right? There might be some bad aliens, right?
Yes, maybe some like a log monster. I'm just thinking out loud.
I like when you're thinking out loud.
Thanks, Dad.
But the point is, guys, that the energy's there, the time is there, the money's there, the budget is allocated. You are going to see more from NASA. Artemis 2, we're not just going to learn about the moon. We're not just going to fly around and do some test drives. We're going to park it and start building a moon base. And that's really exciting stuff that you'll learn more about very soon.
Yeah.
Pay attention to NASA. And if you don't already have your kid's ticket, go get it. Since we're on that, we'll just go back to the world. Okay, do our world news graphic. World news.
World news.
World news.
And the sun coming up behind it.
And the sun coming up. Very nice, eh?
Thank you.
In world news, as you know, as we reported on yesterday, Davos is underway.
Davos.
Now, it can always look a bit like a circus show because the wealthiest and most elite people, from Bill Gates through Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, largest company in the world, these individuals are kind of stuck on the street. You won't ever see them on the street. 364 days a year, you'll never find access to any of these men on the street.
Okay.
Maybe for their own protection, sure, but also, you know, they don't run around with the peasants, so you'll never see them on the street. But in Davos, during the week of Davos, approved journalists are on the scene, and they get to berate them with questions in between their walk to the next building.
Okay.
So they don't always answer and they don't always play along, but it is kind of funny to watch journalists get in their face and ask them questions that nobody else will and see how they handle it.
Yes, it is. It'll be very funny.
We watched the videos of Bill Gates getting jumped yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And by jumped, we mean 3 or 4 journalists got in front of him and asked very good questions.
Very good.
Did he respond?
Yes. Wait,
No, of course not. What was he going to say? Right, the stories change, guys. And one of those stories that they're hitting that we want to make sure is clear in the World Economic Forum is for the last decade, and more so under Al Gore, all we heard was climate change, climate change, climate change. The world is doomed. And now here we are realizing they were lying the entire time and they scammed a bunch of money and stole it all. So now what are they going to do? They've been busted. Well, they've completely flipped the script. We're no longer worried about the climate change that was a problem that was dooming society. We're now focused on energy. Oh, no, we don't have the energy we need for the digital intelligence, for all the marketing, for all the data centers. Oh, no, after stopping energy for the last 10 years, now we don't have enough. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Odd. Now, we know that there's a lot of different things in play right now, from nuclear microreactors. You see Oklo, and you see a bunch of other ones growing up and building those across the U.S. We saw Trump say that the nuclear aircraft carriers that we have could be used temporarily to provide energy.
Nice.
But what did we learn on one of our first episodes, Addy? What's one of those organizations that is using cold fusion to bring essentially free energy to the world?
What was it?
T-A-E. Good job, little lady. We didn't even practice that, guys. I'm making her pull from the memory. That was wonderful. I did not remind her about that today. That was episode 1 or 2, guys. So we're talking 29 episodes ago. Addy hasn't even been refreshed on the memory, and she knew the company right off the bat. You are amazing, little girl.
Yeah, and you put 2 big bangers, right?
Yeah, let's see what you got.
You put
Let's see
2
what
big
you remember,
bangers.
little girl. Tell the audience.
2 big bangers, one here, and shoot plasma at each other, right? Plasma.
Pretty good. Well, photon. Yeah, keep going. We'll see what you got.
They shoot energy right at each other with the plasma.
Yeah.
And shoot it right at each other, and
Okay.
then that forms the energy, right?
Well, it can. Yep.
It can form it.
And it would go all over the place, right?
Yes.
But why doesn't it?
The electromagnetic shield.
Oh, look at my little girl. Woo! You PhD'd it up over here, Miss 8-year-old. Keep dropping that lane. Man, we didn't even practice this, guys. I am so impressed right now. Go ahead, little girl.
And because the electromagnetic field, like it's around Earth.
So it's around the little piece here, right?
Yeah, but around
And it helps control. What happens to the stabilization? Does it get more stabilized?
Yes.
And now what happens now that it's stabilized?
The big HQ clashes with the small HQ, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they clash together, and they form a little explosion, right? Little explosions.
Yeah, that's one way to say it, yeah.
Little explosions.
Okay.
And then that keeps the explosions from exploding so much. I think I can't remember. I think this is it. The cold air with the hot air helps it form, right?
Well, you get a little off track, but you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So that's going to create energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we can sustain it and we can hold on to that energy, now you start talking about what can we do with that,
Yes.
right? And that's where we start talking about long-term space transportation, space trips. When we start thinking about the things that were once impossible are now not just, possible. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that this fusion is so special is because of how fast they can test it. So we'll get back to it and get back on to the nitty gritty and do another full episode on it. But what they can do in just the time from our first episode to now, they've already learned even more. And that's so much faster than anything we've ever been able to do, because they can print it in 3 months, test it in less than 2, and in less than 6 months already have completely changed the game in their own models of upgrading. So this isn't going to take a decade to get to where they already know it will get to. It's going to happen much faster than that. And that is what Davos is going to be about today. We're going to talk about the World Economic Forum, and there's lots of other stuff going on, and Larry Fink and all the big guys out there. We want to make it clear, if you've watched the videos and the tape, they know they lost. They've made it abundantly clear that there's no trust whatsoever in the World Economic Forum. And we mentioned that on yesterday's show with our satirical, they're 100% the good guys, and none of them have any ill intentions whatsoever, right? That was a funny joke to make, and it made it, a little bit easier to process when you realize that Larry Fink then gets up there and he says to the world, to the guys, yo guys, we're the elites and people aren't trusting us. We got to figure out ways to make them trust us more. The same party that says you will own nothing and rent everything how are they going to make independent libertarians here in America, where we appreciate our freedom, how's that going to make us happy, saying that they're going to take away everything that we own and we're only going to be able to rent? Does that sound like freedom?
No, it does not.
Sure doesn't. So we'll see what they have to say, but that's not what we're here for. You do your own homework on that. We're here to see what Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, is going to say at the World Economic Forum. We would like to remind you, for those that didn't watch it the first time he went in his first term, he made it abundantly clear in his first term, and he tripped on the way he was talking. He said, "You would not even believe what is coming if I could tell you. It seems so impossible." And that was in the first term. He didn't get a second term, and now he's back at the table.
Okay.
And what has he been doing? Well, he's been letting the dogs off the leash. Money has been put into NASA. Money has been put into TAE. There are relationships with Plantair, flying cars. All of this, from robots through digital intelligence, is on the market. Saudi Arabia, over a decade ago, allowed citizenship to the digital intelligence. They didn't even let their women drive yet, and they gave citizenship to digital intelligence.
Whoa.
Right. So we're well over a decade after that having happened. The World Economic Forum is due for some good news.
Yeah.
Not the kind of news that is going to put you in controlling iron slaves, but the kind of news that's going to change the future.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're excited for it. So please pay attention to what Trump says this year at Davos, even more important than his first go around, as the message is going to be much clearer. We can't say anything just yet, but let's just say you are going to be excited. What we will see at the National Mall this year at the world's largest state fair held in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
for the last week of June and the first 2 weeks of July is going to change history.
Whoa.
So please be excited, guys, because we are.
Because I'm overexcited. I'm about to explode.
Now, as we talk more about the world, let's talk about food. World news. Nope. Japan.
Okay, Japan. Let's see.
Now, Japan has public schools. America has public schools. You would think that they're very similar and operate the same, but they do not.
They do not.
You want to know one major difference between public schools in America and public schools in Japan?
Yes.
Well, public schools in Japan have cafeteria nurses. Is that different from public schools?
Yes. No.
No, it's okay. Your house.
Yeah.
Do public schools have cafeteria nurses?
Yes.
Does Japan have cafeteria nurses?
Yes.
So that's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's different.
Ready?
In America, in a public school system, you are likely to get highly processed food, junk food, nasty stuff, things that were pre-prepared, things that are given to you. Doesn't mean that there aren't some really good places out there that are doing it right. But in general, I assure you, it's not a meal that I would make for my children.
Mm-mm.
Now, Japan, well, that's a different story. In Japan, everything is made from scratch. The nurses, the cafeteria, everybody there is going to make the food from scratch using local and honest ingredients. Why is that difficult? Why is that impossible? Why are they not doing it in America, Addy?
I don't know.
Great question. You should ask that. You should ask that.
You should ask.
We know that we upset people greatly when we make you uncomfortable, but let's get uncomfortable for a second, guys. If I have your permission, please, for a second, allow me to help us be uncomfortable.
Yep.
Why do our public school systems allow nasty food to our children? Yeah. It is cheaper to get flour and water and make bread. It is cheaper to get flour, eggs, and water and make pizza. Whatever you're going to put together when you add a few simple ingredients is based off of your skills and ability. And there's absolutely no reason that the kids couldn't be involved with making the food.
Yeah. Wait.
Yes.
That can be part of their class. They can help the nurses make their own food.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, I just found that out the book.
I know. You're going to have to help the world understand why in the greatest country in the world, we don't have the best practices in place. And instead, you see things that weaken American citizens rather than strengthen them. And that's all we're pointing out as journalists, that if you wanted the children of America to be stronger, they would be involved. They would be involved in making their food, and their food would not be highly processed, as we know it causes severe problems.
Yep.
From cancers to allergies to weak immune systems, it is not healthy for children to eat high processed foods every day.
No, it is not. They should not even be looking at it. They should know about it, but not even.
And guys, when we talk about cheapness and we talk about quality of food, it does not mean that by making your food, you're getting more expensive food. That's not how that works. It's actually cheaper to buy the ingredients in mass and then make them.
Yeah.
So we would like to see, if you know schools that are maybe already making some things from scratch here in America, we'd like to highlight and recognize their beautiful behavior. But we'd like to have that conversation with America to remind you that you should be making your own food. You should be making your own bread, and it should be a family deal, and it should be fun together.
Yeah,
at least it is for our family.
Yep, very fun.
So we wanted to talk about Japan there for a second and remind you that it can be done, and when it's done very well. We want to see all the children healthy and have all the opportunity to receive healthy options.
Yep.
Now, one thing we want to talk about today is the attacks again that we've had from liberals. We woke up today. We got back online. Did we have some attacks from liberals, little lady?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and from the same part. They won't watch the show and they won't read what they read us, but will they yell at us every morning?
Yes.
Why does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Well, I don't understand it.
Me neither.
But the point is that we're still getting hit with incorrect information, so we're going to bring it to you.
Yep.
Tom Homan, right?
Yep.
Leader of ICE and Border Patrol.
Okay.
He's been the chief, guys. This isn't the guy that Trump just put in charge. You know who gave him the medal and loved this guy? Barack Obama. Barack Obama, guys, in 2012 deported 409,000 illegal criminals. Okay? Using Tom. Gave him a medal. We looked at the pictures. We watched it this morning.
Yeah.
Barack Obama deported over 409,000 illegal immigrants that were here.
Amazing.
There were no protests. Every single liberal lady that's screaming at us and screaming at the world and trying to arrest ICE officers. Yesterday, guys, we're just giving you information. Not even 48 hours ago, ICE in Minnesota was arresting a child. Addy, cover your ears. A child pedophile arresting a rapist. Okay, you're good. And grown women were outside crying and protesting it. You're okay. Grown women were crying and protesting police officers arresting that criminal because they don't care. They have a feeling that was given to them by their fake news, and it is causing them to lose all sense of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's breaking down their ability to have conversation. As I show my daughter and as we see online, the conversation is almost gone. It results to attacks. And this is the part where we're commanded to turn the other cheek, guys. You are never commanded to turn the other cheek when you're being attacked and when you're being hit and stolen from and etc. But when somebody throws their words at you, what do?
You wipe it off. You wipe it off our shoulder.
Guys, one of the best pieces in every argument is to allow them to show who they are.
Yep.
Right? Let them show who they are. It sucks that they speak that way. It's not fun to listen to the words that come out of their mouth or when they reach into their diaper and they start throwing the feces at us, is it?
No, it is not fun.
But when you remain calm and you remain on point, like a good conservative does, what is everybody else able to see?
They're going to see that they can take those words.
Are they going to see the truth?
Yes, they are.
Are they able to hear the truth?
Yes.
So we remind you to please keep your resiliency when these individuals try to ignite the anger and fire in your belly. Do we know you got fire in your belly?
Yeah.
Do we want you to use that energy?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, Addy. What does energy do?
Energy has to transfer.
That's right. And do we get energy sometimes in bad situations and we think that that's bad energy?
Yes.
Yes. But what do we know about energy? What does energy do?
Energy transfers.
Yes. What does water do?
Go with the flow.
Okay. So do we have to force energy and tell it what to do?
No.
We don't. What can we do?
Make the path for the energy.
Did you hear that, guys? Say that again, Addy.
Make the path for the energy.
So you don't have to command the energy and tell it what to do. You don't have to beg and support the energy and ask it to go anywhere. Energy has to transfer, and water goes with the flow. So if you take action, create the flow, where will that energy go?
Go with the flow.
That's right. So if you think positive and you express gratitude when you wake up first thing in the morning or in a tough situation, when it doesn't look like things are going well, when you don't have this, when you don't have that, instead you focus that you do have this and you do have that. What's going to happen with that energy that could have gone negative and could have been bad? Where's it going to go?
It's going to go to the positive side.
That's right. Because it wants to go with the
flow.
So be the flow, guys. Create the flow yourself. This is why you see, and you will always know, people have the power to think positively, be positively, and change the outcomes because they want to.
Because they want to.
And they took action.
And
the energy is already there.
Yeah.
It's got to transfer.
Yeah.
Create the flow for it to transfer.
You have to create the flow.
Positively. If 8-year-old Addy knows it,
you should know it.
You got to know it. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
And guys, we talked a little bit about Virginia yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And how they wanted to ban hand counts. Mm-hmm. Well, we left this off the table because we didn't read all the way through to our second page. There's another bill on the table in Virginia now that Democrats have taken back over. Not just banning hand counts for elections, they are now wanting to end mandatory minimum sentences for rape and manslaughter. Now, you're not going to believe this if you live in a conservative place or you're in a red state. You're not going to understand this. This is why we moved away from New York City and from Pennsylvania, because the local Democrats say you can't do anything. That's the way that it works. That's how it's supposed to be. Somebody's going to hurt my daughter, hurt your sister, mother, grandma, hurt somebody, great-grandma, and you're not even going to give them a mandatory minimum sentence anymore. There's going to be some excuse. Let's show you how that looks. George Soros, DA in Florida, who was fired, and terminated and taken out of position by the governor because of what this DA was doing. Again, hired by George Soros. The Florida DA in 2021 allowed a man who killed and shot an individual off the hook because he was cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. And he says, oh, he's insane. But since we got away with the insane asylums in the 50s and we did away with them, we're just going to let him go. So guess what he just did this weekend?
What the heck?
He killed 3 people. This judge let him out, or this DA let him out in 2021 for insanity, backed by George Soros, doing exactly what they've done in every single state as a journalist, an observation that you've made and you can see. And now this individual has killed 3 innocent individuals in Florida that were doing nothing to him. He just walked up and offed them because he could, because the George Soros DA let him back onto the streets on purpose. Pled that he was insane, but doesn't have an insane asylum to stick him in. So instead, lets him go back onto the streets after he killed someone. Does this sound like justice for all, Addy?
No, it does not.
That's one of the reasons why Governor DeSantis and why we moved to Florida fired that DA and put him out of power. That didn't change the outcome for those individuals who already suffered the damages from George Soros DAs like we see all across America. Guys, that's one of the most upsetting things that we've seen and read, and we don't understand how we can still live in 2026 and judges are not responsible for their judging. It's the whole point of a check and balance, is that if you're going to be a judge, you certainly should be responsible for letting criminals back onto the streets without any hold for regard for the innocent victims they will hurt. Now, we used to have mental asylums and we used to have an ability to do that. We are seeing this administration now want to return to that. And do we know why?
Why?
Well, in the 1950s, Addy, there were lots of people that maybe were getting mistreated, and there were even more that needed help. Whether they were born that way, whether things happened in their environment, whether things went sideways, whether there's a wire crossing, whether they've seen some messed up stuff, whatever the reason is, they're not safe for themselves, and they're certainly not safe for others to be out in public. But what happened when the mental asylums ended their reign in the 50s? Those people were released back into society. And although we want to save the homeless, we want to help the homeless population, there are many inside what we call the homeless population that are not there because they tripped up. They're there because they will always be there. They burn, they kill, they want to hurt, they maim. They are not there to be part of society for whatever reasons they can't control, can control. And the only help that would actually help them would be in an asylum. Right now, the money that's thrown in their direction has been paying corrupt leaders that pass out free drug paraphernalia to the people who shouldn't be taking those drugs. Now, that's happening all across Democratic states. You won't see that in a red county, but you will see that and experience that in every blue county that you visit across the U.S., and especially with our friends out in Cali. Our several visits to San Francisco were the worst out of every city that we visited in the U.S. That includes Baltimore and Chicago and how dangerous it is there. But when you pass by full streets of people with feces all around and then just hanging out on drugs in public, you kind of get the picture real fast to realize where all that money that's been spent is going.
Yeah.
So guys, please pay attention that they are trying to fight back. They are trying to put laws in place that are going to make it easier for criminals to get out. We hope that this administration, by opening up asylums again, is going to make America safe again.
Yep.
It is 8:53. We have gotten through a couple of pieces of news for you to read today. So we're very thankful that you tuned in to get a heads up on that today.
Yep.
But we want to remind you before you go that today marks 1 year of bold leadership, and we're taking the opportunity to reflect how far we've come in the past 365 days.
Okay.
This is from NASA. President Trump's clear vision: NASA is strengthening human exploration, expanding key partnerships, delivering missions of groundbreaking science and discovery.
Okay.
We're returning to the moon, we're planning to stay, and we're paving the way towards Mars. The future is very bright.
Yeah.
That's from NASA, and we're big NASA nerds, so we're so happy to see NASA return to a patriotic response and what this administration is doing for the world. Is that right, Addy?
Yes, we are.
Now, we talked about business a little bit yesterday. Let's give you another chance here, business girl.
Okay.
Remind the people out there at home, what is a business?
Business is creating the customers, then keeping the customers.
That's right, guys. And that's what we're here for. There will always be people who want your product, so create something fun for them.
Yeah.
Keeping your business partners and your customers is all about showing up and making consistent actions during the day, listening to your audience, asking them what they want, who they are.
Yeah.
And we're going to read a little bit today because the dads that follow are out there hitting the weight and pushing the gyms and pushing ups and all sorts of cardio. We want to make sure that they get a little bit of becoming a category of one.
Becoming a category of one.
Every single one of Daddy's friends is a category of one. Whatever it is that they like and enjoy, they go full ham in. That's why Daddy respects them, every single one of them. Matt Robbins, if you happen to be watching today, bro, you go hard to the paint and you show a father of several daughters what it looks like. And we're thankful that you're out there hitting the gym, working out, getting them a healthy fit and a healthy way of life. Thank you, sir. You probably aren't watching, but just in case you are. For some, it was a fish or cut bait experience in which they decided to either take their business to the next level of performance or close the doors and do something else.
Okay.
They all define themselves not in terms of what they sell, but in terms of what the point is for their employees, stakeholders, and customers. But they had a large purpose that was tied to the significance of what they were doing. The willingness to let go of what used to work for many is a daunting challenge. This is what we talked about yesterday.
Yep.
Your brand is everything.
Yep.
Your ability and willingness to keep that promise is your brand name.
Mm-hmm.
It's who they think you are, and it's about people keeping promises. We promise every show to help you learn something. We promise every show to shout out to Scott Adams for the Simultaneous Sip, to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, and to let Addy shine her light just a little bit more each and every day.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We appreciate it greatly. Whether we have two views or whether we have 1 million views, or as we've seen in our last couple of reels, 17,000 views, we're here to help you learn and to help us learn, because Every single one of us is a student and a teacher at the same time for all of our life. Is that right, little girl?
Yeah.
Do you teach me?
Yeah.
You sure do.
And you teach me.
Hey, that's good teamwork.
Yeah, I'm a teacher sometimes with you, and you're a teacher sometimes with me. Like the goblin shark.
Like a goblin shark. Yeah. Now, we hope that you find joy in today. It is Wednesday, the 21st.
Wednesday the 21st.
We have a exciting week this week with Davos and more news coming. We can't say too much, but there are some exciting inventions that are already on the way, guys. From robots to digital intelligence, the future is here. It has arrived, and the year is 2026. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for watching us. And please
remember,
you can't spell daddy without the Addy. I said you can't spell daddy without the Addy. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Daddy forgot to hit the record button, so I don't know what's going to happen with the piece here today. Hopefully it goes live. Love you guys. Take care. Let's go join 9 o'clock simultaneous sip.